For my Mingas, and welcome to the Minga Sports Podcast. I'm Nacho.
I'm Garuda. I didn't know if you were actually starting or not, and now I just clicked on it, and you
Mhm.
were starting it, so we are
Mhm.
started.
We
What
are.
the fuck are you doing to this? What is going on?
I keep purposely fucking up the Minga doc.
Okay. Yeah, I can stop. No, please.
Do you know what
I
I
had it
did?
formatted. I had it formatted so good. Everything was like perfect. Like everything was each on its own page. And the first thing Nacho does when he logs on is he immediately goes up to the top, presses enter, and starts typing something else in. And it messed up everything.
I didn't
And I'm
know.
so mad. Alright, yeah, it's whatever. We got some news.
We got some news.
Um,
I mean, I guess we should
Bengals,
address
we should
the elephant in the room. The Super Bowl just kind of happened.
Yeah, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, and the Bengals did not win the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah, that was. We'll talk about that game later, but the Rams are Super Bowl champions, so good for them.
Mm-hmm.
They played football better than other teams.
They did.
Other news: Zach Taylor, even though he lost, he got an extension through 2026, I believe.
Head coach of the Bengals, you're
As
correct.
head coach of the Bengals. Jim Harbaugh, coach of the University of Michigan, also got an extension. I don't know for
It's
how
a
long.
5-year, I think. And
Okay.
he was supposed to be the Vikings head coach until he said no.
He wasn't supposed to be.
Or
Interviewed for
he was
the Viking
gonna
job
be.
and was like, yeah, no, fuck that. And then other news: Kyler Murray was I think this broke on like Monday or Sunday. It's like he's a bad teammate. He's a whiny baby boy, and then I don't know. Apparently he isn't, according to him, and
He's
it might be a
complaining
lie.
that the entire, like, all the Cardinals are using him as the scapegoat as to why the Cardinals didn't do anything. They're all saying it's Kyler's fault, and Kyler's like, what the fuck? So he took all the
Yeah,
Cardinal shit off of his Instagram, and then the Cardinals took everything off of their Instagram except Kyler, because I mean the social media team likely doesn't know what's going on, and they were like,
yeah.
haha, funny, because
That would be funny.
the social media team usually isn't, like, you know, in contact all the time with the actual team. They just post updates and whatnot.
So now hear me out. Hear me out, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's like starting to be like, oh, Kyler Murray's got to get out of Arizona, blah, 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 blah. Kyler Murray to the Colts.
That's a Super Bowl winning team.
I agree.
But also, I don't
I
think he's gonna leave Arizona.
No, I don't think he will either.
I think this just is gonna, someone's gonna say sorry, and it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be like what happened with Russell Wilson last year. It's like, oh, Russell Wilson arguing with the coaching staff, what? And then everyone's like, oh, he's gonna leave. He's gonna go to the Broncos or the Giants. And then it's like, no, I'm gonna stay as a Seahawk. And yeah, it's nothing's gonna come of it. I thought it was just fun to kind of add in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to the big game because there's a lot to unpack. First, Eli Apple.
Let's say, well, first the score, 23 to 20.
23 to 20. I'm gonna start off with Eli Apple because a lot of people were just kind of giving him shit all year. I didn't think he played bad all year. This game, though.
No, he played like kind of dog shit this game.
This game he played like.
But
dookie.
also, he had to go against Cooper Kupp, which had the single best wide receiver season of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think if you're gonna play against Cooper Kupp, you gotta double him. Especially since, OBJ got hurt. OBJ got hurt in like the second quarter. He tore his ACL again. The same ACL he tore last year. I think you gotta double him. Because it's going to be, okay, double him, get one guy on Van Jefferson, and then who else do they have? They have backup receivers. They don't have a tight end. And then you got the running back. You got Cam Akers, who didn't really do anything. Like, hadn't really gotten anything going.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why they weren't doubling him. I think there was a big coaching difference in this game between Sean McVay and Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
I think Zach Taylor severely got outcoached. But with that, there was some very questionable flags this game as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about those ones? Because those are fun.
So, well, what first this wasn't a very like flag heavy game. These teams are this season haven't really drawn many flags.
I think there were 3 flags in the first 3 quarters until like this one moment where there were 5 in a row.
Where there should have been a flag. Was it Tyler Boyd pulled Jalen Ramsey's face mask, and they scored touchdown off of that? He clearly grabbed face mask. If the ref saw it, they would have called it.
Yeah, if they saw it, they would have called it. But also, shout out to Tyler Boyd for getting away with that, because he did it in the perfect blind spot of the ref.
Yeah.
None of the refs were able to see that, and it just looked like Ramsey tripped to them. And you can't like pull it after you see the replay, which I think you should be able to do. But you can't throw the flag after the replay after it was like, oh. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was good on him for fucking getting away with that. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. And then what was it? Someone, I don't remember his name because he's, he wasn't playing. Someone on the Bengals who was not playing.
Hargraves?
Yes. Went on the field and celebrated. Mind you, he was in like, the Super Bowl sweatshirt and like a pair of shorts. You're not supposed to be on the field.
Yeah.
So that fucked him over. That was like a 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration.
That was after a touchdown though.
Yeah, but it, still flag.
Yeah.
And
then
what else was there? There was a holding call
on Logan Wilson
for
literally doing nothing. For literally playing the perfect ball.
Yeah, it was like a millisecond of holding because
no,
your hand.
He didn't even hold.
No, I'm just saying because they got like handsy, which is what football is. So if you're an idiot, that's holding, but to everyone, literally everyone else, that's not a holding call. That's just football. That should not have been called.
It looks like he's hugging him almost in the play. It's like he's got his hand around like his back, not holding. He's like firmly like he has a fist, which is like kind of how you're supposed to play. You're supposed to play with fists or open hands, no in between, because then you're gonna grab. And he's got one like on his other side. The ball comes in and he just reaches out in front of him and puts it down. And they called holding on that, and that was probably one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and even the announcers were like, where's the flag? Where is it? And then they watched it like the third time after it was called for holding, and they were like, where? They were like, I guessed right there where like his hand was on like his waist.
Yeah, Chris Collinsworth was like, yeah, they called it. They called something. And then, like, the next play, there was a pass interference.
Yeah.
Which got them to the 1. And that holding was on a third down, too. It was on, like, a third and goal from the 10, I think. So they would have had to settle for a field goal. But then there's that holding. Made it first down. Then there's the PI. Got him on the 1. And then they scored a touchdown from it. So, and also that play where the holding was called, 4 offensive linemen jumped early, and they didn't call a false start. I don't know if you saw that, but I saw some. I thought I saw something
Oh,
on it. And
there
I was
also
like,
was a
maybe,
false
maybe
start by
not.
the Rams, right?
Yeah, on that play.
Yeah.
On the defensive holding. So it should, instead of it going 5 yards and being a first and goal from the 5, it should have been 5 yards the other way and been like a third and goal from the 15.
And what should have been a flag, the last, I get not counting the victory knee, but or the victory snap, but the last play of the Bengals where it was 4th and 1, Aaron Donald was offsides.
Oh yeah,
he was
I didn't see
fair. I saw this afterwards, but like the top down shot, he's clearly over the line, like very like an entire hand over the line, and it should have got called. It really sucks for the Bengals because on that play, Jamar Chase was wide open, and if the Bengals dog shit offensive line bought Joey just a second, that different game.
Dude, Jamar toasted Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey actually got burnt the entire game. No.
Jalen Ramsey did not have a good game. Neither did Eli Apple. But also, if we're gonna go to that last play on 4th and 1, what's his name? I gotta pull up his name now because I gotta fucking flame the shit out of him.
Well, you're looking at that. And earlier in the game, Joe Burrow was injured. His knee got all twisted up. Not the knee he got injured on, his other one.
Yeah. Strained. They said strained MCL doesn't require surgery.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to rehab it. And on the sidelines, he was like, "I'm fine. I'm not coming out." Like very. I don't remember the quote, but the quote is very stern, and he's like, "Do not talk to me."
Yeah, I gotta flame Samaji P. Ryan real quick. There's a Super Bowl on the line, right? You're playing for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter. Your team is down. You need a play. How do you fucking just let the ball hit the ground right in front of you?
Yeah.
And not dive for it and not make a play on that? You fucking dream of this moment and you just fucking stand there like for me?
Joe Burrow threw the ball out last second, like who did that? Oh, like Jimmy Garoppolo did, kind of like in the last play that he had, and
Eli did it on the helmet catch. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you remember that one, Nacho? Do you remember that?
I know the helmet catch.
Are you sure?
Yes, I remember that catch.
That's funny.
But anyways, he threw it out, and the ball was very catchable. Like, it's not thrown to you, but it's thrown in your direction. And because after he watched Joe Burrow get hit to the ground by Aaron Donald, and he was like, that sucks for us. And he just stood.
Damn, that's terrible.
Yeah, he's stood there like, damn, that sucks. And even though the ball, like, anyone else on that team could have made a play. And why wasn't Joe Mixon in? Wait, he's a good receiving back.
Yeah, he also threw a touchdown.
He did. That was awesome.
That was cool. But yeah, why wasn't Joe Mixon in the game? There's so many coaching decisions that were like yeah, the refs kind of fucked him over. All right, P. Ryan fucked him over on that last play. But why wasn't Mixon in? Where was he? Joe Mixon was like a top 5 back this year.
Yeah.
And you're not going to put him in on 4th and 1? Also, horrible play calling on that last drive. You get 9 yards on your first down, then pull Joe Mixon, then go for a deep shot on 2nd and 1, and then you try to run it again on 3rd and 1, and it doesn't go anywhere, so it just brings up 4th and 1.
Swallowed by Aaron Donald.
Like, terrible play calling on those last 4 downs by them.
I agree with you.
But, you didn't catch it. What happened, and Los Angeles are world champions, and they're calling them Title Town because they each of their 4 major sports have won in the past decade, and it's like, we were there first. Boston was there first.
Yeah. Can't
Cooper
say I
Kupp.
didn't expect this, obviously, because LA,
Yeah.
LA is becoming the new Boston. Let's be real. LA teams are just like spending money, getting top talent, and just being good, winning
Yeah,
championships.
well, here's if we're gonna. All right, we'll talk about sports real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fucking. All right, the Los Angeles Kings have not been good since they won the cup in 2014. All right, I don't want to hear anyone talking about the LA Kings being good. Let's check out their record real quick. Where are they? Here you are. Oh, I misclicked. That's really cool. They're third in the Pacific Division? That's a lot better than I thought. They're still not good. I don't think they've been to the playoffs since 2014 or 2016 maybe. The Dodgers actually just threw money at things and solved their problems
Mm-hmm.
because there's no salary cap in baseball. The Lakers tried to throw money and it worked for 1 year, and then they're like, what if we hire the retirement home? And then they hired the retirement home.
That makes me think what you just said about the Dodgers spending money. Also in sports news, Trevor Bauer finally released his statement because his court cases are done. Turns out he didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, crazy.
Everything was consensual, and the woman was lying, and the media just took her side of the story, which was found to be incorrect. So yeah, good for him. Because like the entire Dodgers organization was like the locker room was like, fuck Trevor Bauer, we do not want this guy here. And now he's gonna have to walk in whenever the baseball is ready to start.
And then walk in and be like, hey guys, how's it going?
And they're just gonna be like, I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't know.
But you wanna know who did do something to Sean Watson? What is it? I was trying to look some stuff up today on like what's going on with that case. There's been no news since like January.
There has been news about where he wants to go, though. Yeah, it is reported that Deshaun Watson wants to go to either Minnesota or the Bucks.
Here's my take on that. Tampa Bay isn't going to be good anymore. I got to look up Tampa Bay free agents.
No, there's a lot. This is what happened to Tampa Bay, is they spent money. I mean, Tommy's never had like huge contracts, but they got Tom Brady. Tom Brady was like, sign all these people. They did. They got the ring.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that's what it was. They bought talent and they got the chip, and now they're gonna suck for a while. That's what it was.
They had a 2-year window when Tom Brady was there to do something, and they did something.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna read off some notable free agents for the Bucks.
Well, before you say that, I just want to say, for Tampa Bay and the Bucks organization, worth it. That's what playing football is all about. Is you get the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl. I'm honestly like winning the Super Bowl for like for a couple of years of rebuild. That's worth it, in my opinion.
And you know what? Everyone in that front office, they just got an extension because of it too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, fuck yeah, we pulled in Tom Brady, and Tom Brady pulled in the rest, but it looks like we did good.
Mm-hmm.
So they got extension. All right, I'm going to read some notable free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Giovanni Bernard, who was like a good second running back. Safety Andrew Adams out of UConn.
Woo.
By the way. Cornerback Carlton Davis. So they're losing two, like, and Richard Sherman. So three solid pieces in the secondary, which was their weakest point of last year.
It was.
They're losing another running back, Leonard Fournette, and Ronald Jones. So all of their running backs are gone. They're losing both tight ends, Rob Gronkowski and O.J. Howard. They're losing Chris Godwin. Center Ryan Jensen, who's one of the top centers in the league. Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh on the offensive line. Like, huge names are like on the line here, and they probably aren't going to come back to Tampa because they're not going to be with Brady anymore.
They understand that Tampa's not going to be winning a Super Bowl for at least like 2-3 years, because you don't know what the team's gonna look like by then. But
Especially if
you're gonna have
the
to assume they're
quarterback
gonna have to rebuild for a while. Yeah.
if the quarterback situation is not good as well. And right now their only quarterback is Kyle Trask. Because Blaine Gabbert
But I was
is
gonna say,
their
what
other
about
one.
Blaine
He's
Gabbert?
free agent.
Ah,
So right now their only quarterback is
the rookie that they
Kyle
drafted.
Trask, a second-round rookie. No, yeah, second-round rookie.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like,
second round.
we don't know. I mean, I don't remember. I am assuming he played in preseason. I don't remember him playing, so I don't know if he's good or not. But he's also been sitting behind Tommy, so I assume he'll be like all right.
They really like him, from what I've heard. Is that like they're like, oh yeah, he's been doing good. I don't know how NFL ready. I would be excited though to see Kyle Trask start for them next season.
Yeah.
If they just like were like, all right, we're gonna draft a bunch of like non-quarterback players. We'll re-sign like a veteran to sit on the bench as our backup, and we're gonna see what Kyle Trask can do. That would be interesting because not a lot of teams have done that.
That's what I would do if I was the Bucks, because especially you got to be realistic. You're not winning the Super Bowl next year, so what do you got to lose in giving him experience?
This would be an experimental year for them.
Yeah. And also, like, if they don't get Blaine Gabbert, Kyle Trask gets his number back because he's wearing number 2 right now, and he wore 11 at Florida. And I'm assuming he would change.
Yeah.
I would if I was him.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting. Let's talk about the other team Deshaun wants to go to. Let's talk about the Vikings. Speaking of, the Vikings just hired Kevin O'Connell today, which was the OC for the Rams. You know, he finally got his season is finally ended, so he could take a job somewhere else. But everyone kind of already knew it. I think this is good for the Vikings because they finally have an offensive-minded coach. Mike Zimmer was very much defensive-minded, and their defenses were okay. But when you have an offense with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook.
And fuck you, Kirk by the way, because Justin Jefferson was gonna break Randy Moss's receiving record. He needed like 18 yards, and they didn't give it to him. Fuck you for that.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson was very upset, and all he had to say at the press conference was like, "I was aware of it, but we didn't talk about it at all. We're just here to win games." I think they lost that game too. I don't remember what game it was.
Probably. But yeah, and Kirk Cousins as well, who at worst is an average quarterback.
I've heard from the grapevine. I just
that he's leaving, or that he wants more money.
No, that Vikings fans aren't upset with him, and they still like Kirk Cousins.
I would.
Yeah.
I think he's still a good quarterback. Like his stats, he had the 3rd least interceptions, he had the 9th most touchdowns, 9th most passing yards, and he was 15th, which is average for QBR. Like those are his stats this year. Like those are solid stats. At worst, average. At worst, you have an average quarterback. And
average quarterbacks with good offense can win games easy. Yeah, they can win games.
Yeah, and their offensive line's not bad either.
Yeah.
Like their offensive line is serviceable. It's good. I would go as far as say it's good. Garrett Bradbury's a good center. Christian Darrisaw is a great pickup in the draft. He is a great tackle. There's some good talent on that Minnesota offense that because they were under Mike Zimmer, they were not able to show. So we've talked about...
Anyways, back on track to the Super Bowl.
So Cooper Kupp was named MVP. I think it should have been Aaron Donald because Cooper Kupp had the stats, you know? He had the flashy plays. Aaron Donald has to get triple teamed every play.
Aaron Donald, he still made plays when the entire line was on him.
Still went through. Like, I think it should have been him. I think it would have been a lot. And there were a lot of talk, like right before, I think like the day before the game is when I started hearing like whispers. Oh, if Aaron Donald wins, he might be considering retirement. I was blown back by that statement. Seeing a
Yeah, I've
player
been hearing
this
that.
dominant, like Tom Brady, understandable he retired. He's
He's
old,
ancient.
right? He's been
Yeah.
in the league. Aaron Donald was drafted in what, 2014, 2013?
Something like that.
Something like
I can
that.
go find out.
I think it was 2014 because he's been in the league 8 years.
14. You're right.
14. Like, and he's like, we don't even know if he's hit his peak yet.
He's 30.
I mean, still, he's playing at a level.
No,
where
I'm
we
not
don't know
saying
if
I'm
he's
not
hit
saying
his
that's
peak.
old. I'm saying like
For defensive
he's
linemen, that's
only
kinda old.
30.
For
Well,
defensive
yeah,
linemen, that's like old on the older side, but still, we don't know if he's peaked yet, and that is terrifying to think of. In the parade today, Sean McVay asked Aaron Donald, like, we run it back, you know, and Aaron Donald's like, I think we run it back. And it's like, okay, get your super team back, huh? You think Von Miller's gonna come back? Nah, Von Miller wants to go to the Chiefs.
Does he?
Yeah, I've seen a lot about like
I would if I was him.
Von Miller having such high praise for like Mahomes, and he's like, I want to go to the Chiefs. I'm a free agent this year. I'm like, ooh, that could be very oh my god.
Well,
Melvin Ingram, Chris Jones, and Von Miller on the same defensive line. That's so terrifying
holy
to think
shit.
of. That's so scary.
To be fair, like what we just talked about with the Bucks, the Rams spent a lot of money, and yeah, it does help them that they did win the Super Bowl.
But who are they gonna retain?
They're
to
not.
win another one.
They're not going back to back. I'll tell you that. I'm not saying they're not gonna be. They're gonna be a good team next season, but they're gonna start regressing. They don't have picks. They don't have. I don't know how much money they have. I'm assuming they don't have any. No, they're over, aren't they?
They're over cap.
Yeah, they don't have any money. They don't have any picks. They have late round picks, so they're gonna get mediocre players, which could turn into
gems. Hidden gems are complete like busts.
Hidden gems are practice squad players.
Yeah. The Rams, they're interesting though because they are in the NFC. The NFC is the weaker of the two conferences. I can
for sure. No, that's
I think
not even debatable.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
They're in the toughest division, but the Seahawks looked very vulnerable this year.
Without Russ.
The Cardinals, they were good, and then they became the most inconsistent team in football.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers are tough.
The 49ers
on what happens.
have a lot to look forward to.
It's what happens with Jimmy G. If everyone's been saying Trey Lance is Jimmy G, but he can run, if he is, and he can prove that, the 49ers I think become a superpower in the NFC.
I've been saying this all season. Trey Lance is going to be a top quarterback. He's going to be a stud. I think Trey Lance is really, really good. And especially how, the Niners are upset that they didn't, get as far as they could. But, they were honestly getting funny wins at that point. I think the Niners are going to be a top team for a little bit.
I think the Niners have the pieces. It's just, will it happen? Because Kyle Shanahan teams do have a tendency to fall apart at some point or another.
His schemes are very sporadic and crazy. So
yeah,
and sometimes they're too stupid to just and don't work. But I do think
pieces are there, but I don't know. I think there might have to be some coaching changes. Not like Kyle Shanahan's fired or anything, just have someone else have more of an input than just Kyle Shanahan calling off.
Have more stability in their offense.
Yeah. Their defense is good. Their defense is kind of stacked.
Yeah.
Their their offense, they have a solid O-line, I believe.
It's not bad.
It's not. It's probably what, mid 10,
I was gonna say
middle 10
yeah.
in the league.
I mean,
I was thinking like 30s.
They got George Kittle, who loves being a 49er. They got Deebo
they have
Samuel.
Trent Williams and Alex Mack. They're good.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're they might be bringing back Mostert, but even if they aren't, they're gonna have Elijah Mitchell. They have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, who are very. They have. Wait, hold on. They have Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah.
Since when? And why is he 5th on the depth chart?
Must not have been having a good year.
I guess not. Then they have Kittle and Juszczyk. And then you look at the defense. Their defense is set. You have Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw and Nick Bosa on the front four. Then you have Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, linebackers. Then you have Jimmy Ward and Emmanuel Mosley in the secondary. Like, pick up another corner, and this team is like, this team has stability.
I think you could see the Niners in a Super Bowl in the next couple of years. They're gonna make some deep playoff runs again.
I think you're right.
Thank you.
I agree.
I don't know. I'm becoming a Niners fan slowly, just because I not actually.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I just think the Niners are gonna just start being good, and when they are good and make it to a Super Bowl, I called it like now.
You called it in 2022, February 16th.
At 9:30 p.m.
At 9:30 p.m. on the dot. I think another interesting point is that them and maybe the Rams, if they can retain people, are gonna be the only two good teams in the NFC. Because you think back to the playoff picture for the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are fucking way over the cap.
They're gonna implode soon,
and they just want to throw money at everything to keep Aaron Rodgers.
That's what they're gonna do.
And even if they do, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know. That team's gonna fall apart slowly but surely. The 2 seed. Who's the 2 seed? They're the Bucks.
The Bucks.
The Bucks just lost Brady, so they're dog shit. All right, next team.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. The Cowboys.
Shut the fuck up, Cowboys fans. You suck. I'm sorry. You're fucking garbage. Your team is so bad.
You have won one more playoff game in the last 25 years than the Giants have won Super Bowls. Fuck you. 4 was the Rams, I think coaching wise and defensively, I think they can still compete with teams, because they're still gonna have Jalen Ramsey, Taylor Rapp, Leonard Floyd. Like, they're still gonna have like their defensive core.
I don't think they're gonna be the top team in the NFC though.
I think they have a chance to be the top team in the NFC. It's gonna be between them and the Niners.
Yeah.
And then who is the 5th seed in the NFC?
The Cardinals.
Oh yeah, the Cardinals are like imploding as we speak. Apparently.
Hopefully they can fix themselves.
Hopefully, yeah, because that team.
They're very fun. Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. They're a very fun team to watch.
But they're also running on like a few 1-year deals left. I think. I think D-Hop's got only a couple years, maybe 1 or 2 years left. AJ Green probably only has 1 or 2 years left. Like I feel like their team's gonna fall apart soon, maybe.
If we want to continue in the playoff picture, it was also Eagles and the Niners. Yes, they were. They got stomped by the Bucks.
No, we're not even gonna pretend that the Eagles are contenders.
That was a bad game. That was a really bad game.
We're not gonna pretend that they're contenders.
No, I was just bringing them up because to continue the entire playoff picture. And then Niner, who went to the AFC Championship. Good for them.
So right now...
NFC Championship, sorry.
Right now, I saw 3 contenders. three contenders next year for the NFC, and it's going to be Packers, Niners, and Rams. And the Packers is
Put a question mark on the Packers.
Packers is a big if everything goes right for them. The Rams is if they can get at least half of their free agents back. I think they got a good shot. And the Niners is if Trey Lance can be Jimmy G2, I guess. But now we go over to the AFC. All right.
I think we should start with the Bengals. Obviously, they're in the Super Bowl.
This was my question. Can the Bengals get back? Because everyone's like, "Oh, Dan Marino got to the Super Bowl with the Dolphins in his second year, and then never went back ever again. That's gonna happen to Joe Burrow."
So the AFC is so stacked, but also you just have to win tough games, which is what they they beat the Chiefs, which they know the Chiefs shat on themselves, but
they also did beat the Chiefs twice.
They did beat the Chiefs twice, and the first game was really good. It's gonna be AFC playoffs. Each game is tough and gritty, and it's gonna be two teams who should be in the Super Bowl, and one's going home in the wild card round.
Yeah. That's what it's gonna be.
It's what happened in the divisional. The Chiefs and the Bills in the divisional, who we all wanted that to be the AFC Championship. It wasn't. Bills went home early. That's what it is. It's gonna be really tough to win in the AFC.
Yeah, we'll go through the AFC ones too. So who's the one seed was Tennessee. Tennessee dealt with just a shitty hand this year. I'll give them a shitty hand. They got injuries. Some of their free agents didn't work out. Cough, cough, Julio Jones. Like their defensive front was solid.
Regular season, Ryan Tannehill was good.
Okay. Ryan Tannehill, like, he tried so hard to make this team relevant, and he did a pretty good job until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going back to the playoffs next year.
I think I want to see Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs again. I think he just had a bad game because his regular season, I mean, like every Minga, we were praising him for being really fucking good.
Ryan Tannehill had a good season.
He did. I'm not debating that. Yeah.
Playoff performance, and he's like, "Oh, he's not a good quarterback. They got to replace him."
No, I don't agree with everybody saying that you should replace him. I think you should have a talk with him and say, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm sure that talk has already happened.
He was 8th in QBR. That's good.
I'm just talking about that playoff game.
That playoff game, he was not very good in QBR.
No, I'm talking specifically like they had to talk with him about that playoff game. I'd like to see. I think the Titans are gonna be a high seed again. They're gonna win their division. I think easy. Like the Colts have a bright future. I think they're a bit better than the Colts right now, unless something changes in like team wise, like players wise.
If the Colts get a quarterback not named Carson Wentz, I think the Colts are a better team than the Titans.
Yes, I will agree with you. But as it stands, Titans.
As it stands, I would pick the Titans against the Colts.
All right. Second seed Chiefs.
Second seed Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
Von Miller, question mark?
Von Miller, question mark. What more do I have to say? That team is a contender for the next decade. The 3 seed was the Bills.
Bills are going to keep making deep playoff runs. I have no complaints.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen, the Stephon Diggs is electric. If the Bills picked up
Dawson Knox,
a running back. If the Bills picked up a running back, they probably would be in the Super Bowl because they could establish 0 run game.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he was second in pass attempts, I think, to Brady because Brady just chose not to hand off the ball. How many attempts? Can I check that stat?
I do not know.
Attempts 646. That's so many. 646 attempts. But Like, get him a running back, man. Let him hand the ball off. It opens up the playbook so much more. Sell
It
that play
does.
action. Get it out to Diggs. Like, make some big moves.
Like, yeah,
I like
he
Sean
has a good
McDermott as a
arm,
coach.
but oh yeah,
I
me
like
too.
I like Sean McDermott as a coach, but like you could have used Devin Singletary more. You had Matt Breida, Zach Moss on your team. Like, utilize them. They're like good players, at least decent players. Use them. And then Buffalo's defense is obviously very good. Their
Yeah,
secondary, I think, is elite.
oh my god, yeah.
Uh, and then there's the Bengals.
4 seed Bengals.
They need an offensive line.
I
That
th-
was the one piece they were missing this year, in my opinion, was an offensive line.
which I think there were on the right side of the line were 2 backups. The
Yeah.
guard and the tackle were backups.
Yeah, but that's just you need.
Regardless of that, Super Bowl is a different game if the Bengals have a better offensive line. I love how I'm saying Bengals unironically.
Yeah, it's funny.
Different game. But if they have a better offensive line, obviously they don't have to. They don't. Obviously they're not going to fold at every opportunity. Von Miller was just sliding through the line like crazy.
Yeah.
Because mostly because Aaron Donald was being covered by the entire line, which gave Von Miller the opportunity to slide in. But they need. That's honestly. That's their only part they need to work on right now. I would say, their secondary maybe needs work, but they did have a good defensive season.
I think their secondary is fine.
Yeah.
Maybe pick up another cornerback for depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like Von Bell and Jesse Bates, I believe are like a fantastic safety duo. I think, and the Bengals are also in like some decently bad free agency. Like they're losing Uzama, they're losing Quentin Spain, who is probably their best offensive lineman.
Well, funny you should say Uzama, because there's another tight end that wears 87 that has a real soft spot in his heart for Joe Burrow since his best friend Tommy is gone.
Yeah, we talked last week about Gronk going to the Bengals.
Because he openly said that the next quarterback he wants to play for, which doesn't mean anything. He could retire. He could go play for a different team.
Yeah, then I was watching another sports podcast earlier today, the Grossi Perna Show, GPS for short, and they were talking about Gronk going to the Bengals, and I'm like, yo, we talked about that. They definitely watch our show. Thank you to the 2 viewers now watching the show. But yeah, I think you re-sign Uzama. He's a great veteran presence. Like
he loves Cincinnati.
He's not gonna be able to bathe in his Skyline chili though.
You wouldn't say that if you didn't love Cincinnati.
Yeah. Other notable free agents: B.J. Hill, defensive tackle. Jesse Bates is a free agent as well, and Eli Apple. If you like, my priorities: get Jesse Bates, get B.J. Hill, get Uzama, get Spain. If you want, you can get Eli Apple.
I'd say re-sign Eli Apple, but you're not making any money. He's not making any money.
Because especially after the Super Bowl performance, you can use that as leverage. And like that's so like crazy to say. Like, but you played bad in this game. Your pay's getting docked a couple mil.
It is the game, though.
That is the game. You work so hard. You go 18 weeks in the regular season, and then you go all the way through the playoffs after, everything. And it's like, oh, you got toasted for 2 touchdowns on you. That's tragic.
He just average salary, honestly, for a corner.
Yeah, but
it's just a couple mil a year.
Their cap space, I don't think, is bad. I think they're in a good spot cap-wise because they have Burrow on a budget because he's still on his
rookie deal. Which, what is his rookie deal, by
his
the
rookie
way?
deal was like it was the highest all time.
It
was like
is 4-year 36.
36.
Very close. I'll give it to you, though. That's pretty close.
Yeah. But he was still cheap for what you're getting out of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's what's a 23 8, so we'll round it a 24 signing bonus. So that's 12 million, so he's getting paid 3 a year.
Yeah, that's about right. You got Jamar Chase, your top receiver, on his rookie deal. You still have T. Higgins on his rookie deal. Like, you got a lot of people on the cheap right now. If you spend on that offensive line and on getting some of these like defensive guys back, they could be in a very good spot. The only problem is they'd have to deal with the Chiefs and the Bills and the Titans and the Colts possibly. And the Patriots. We'll talk about the Patriots next. The Patriots on that come up.
When we go further through the actually we are the 5th seeds. That's the next team to talk about.
No, the Raiders are the next team. The Raiders could be deadly too. Literally.
Yeah.
Shout out to Henry Ruggs. Oh, I shouldn't have made that joke.
Let's see. The Bengals have like 50 mil in cap space. It's 48.7.
That's
48.8.
That's good. That's good money to have in cap.
Yeah, that's so you have 50 million for your free agents. You're getting all of them back on at this point.
Yeah, I would re-sign most of your re-sign all your starters at the very least.
Yeah. And then if there's a lineman out there, snag him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Ryan Jensen, go snag Ryan Jensen from the Bucks. Let's look at the Raiders because the Raiders are the next team.
Were they the 5th seed? No,
they were the 5th seed. Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, Bengals were 4 and the Raiders were 5, and then Bills were 3 and the Pats were 6.
Oh, we were 6. That is right.
Pats were 6.
Because we lost the Dolphins game.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Raiders.
Great Carr. Future.
Derek Carr, good.
People have been saying Derek Carr is gonna like be traded somewhere. Ain't no way.
He would refuse.
He openly said, "I only want to play with the Raiders organization and nowhere else." Meaning, he will likely not play for whoever he
would actually just refuse to play for them.
He would just retire.
He was 5th in yards, 13th in touchdowns. He had 14 picks, which was tied for 24th in the league, and he was middle. He was 14th for QBR. So good stats. Like, again, another quarterback where they're not doing anything flashy, but at the very worst, they are average.
But when you watch him play, he's above average with his skill.
He makes really good plays.
He does.
And then they have Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Kenyon Drake is a backup because when Josh Jacobs inevitably gets hurt, because that happens every fucking year I have him in fantasy. Hunter Renfrow, Zay Jones, Bryan Edwards, Deshaun Jackson,
Darren Waller,
good receivers. Like Foster Moreau, the backup tight end, he stepped up when he had to. Their offensive line isn't terrible.
Leatherwood,
Colton Miller on the left, Alex Leatherwood
kind of sucks. He draws so many penalties. Sucks? Well, he's mid.
He's a rookie.
That's true.
So he can develop.
I'll give him a little bit of slack. He didn't have the best year, and he drew quite a number of flags.
He could develop under Richie Incognito. Oh, that's funny. But the defense.
The defensive
really
line. Holy shit! It's so good.
You got Yannick Ngakoue, Max Crosby, Carl Nassib on the line. Denzel Perryman and KJ Wright in the linebacker spots. Casey Hayward, he's an old vet. How old is he? He's probably the tail end of his career. He's 32. He's probably going towards retirement. Trayvon Moehrig, another pretty decent safety. Nate Hobbs did really well as a corner this year. There's a bright future. I think there's a couple needs here and there, but nowhere major sticking out. This team could contend for a couple years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Patriots. I'll let you talk about the Patriots. You know what you got.
Patriots. I mean, we need a number one. The thing is, Mac, great rookie season, obviously. We have a top O-line. I'm not gonna pretend like I know our O-line. I need to study that more.
Let's
That's
look.
one of my flaws. I don't know linemen that well.
I don't know any of these O-linemen. I know a decent amount. I don't know any of these guys.
Really?
Isaiah Wynn, Ted Karras, David Andrews, Shaq Mason, and Trent Brown. Trent Brown sounds familiar. I feel like I know him.
I know their names, but I could not tell you off the top of my head. But when you say them, it rings every bell because I know who they are.
That's good enough.
But Mac Jones is backed up by Brian Hoyer, who was Tom Brady's backup for a while, so he's given a bunch of tips. Like Mac wore a scuba suit when it got really cold. That's an old Tom Brady trick. Our running back room is crazy. Damien Harris had an amazing season. Ramondre Stevenson, who I very specifically said in preseason he's going to be a beast. Great season.
You did say that.
James White, sad he got injured. But he was playing great before he got injured.
It's crazy how James White got moved to third on the depth chart because of an injury.
Brandon Bolden, he was a pretty good first down guy. We needed a first down. He usually got it for us. And then we got Jacoby Myers, who isn't he's a first down machine for sure. Doesn't get a lot of touchdown. He's got his first NFL touchdown this year. Nikhil Harry at the beginning of the season requested a trade. He's been having a dog shit career, so nobody was going to pick him up. He is a big dude. Like he's like 6'1". Let me see. He's 6'4", sorry. Yeah, 225. Big. He's a big dude. He was great in our running game. He was a great blocker. Cuz again, he's a skinnier tight end. Nelson Aguilar we picked up. Good pickup. He did,
Good pickup in theory, but I don't know how
he did all right.
Great. Dude, he had 470 yards.
Yeah, he did all right. Christian Wilkerson, who's been a practice squad guy, got his shot a couple times. He looks kind of promising. He dropped some pretty important balls.
I remember him in like the blocking game doing pretty well.
Kendrick Bourne we got from the Niners at the beginning of the season. Great pickup. He's been doing great for us. Hunter Henry, who we got from the Chargers. Holy shit. Like, you see that chemistry, quarterback tight end on the Patriots, that makes you think Tom Brady and Gronk. So that's lovely.
Now talk about Jonnu Smith, huh?
I was just about to. Jonnu Smith, who was supposed to be really great for us, did fuck all. The only game that of importance is the game against Tennessee, because we just he did a couple of special plays. I think he had it was supposed to be a run into the end zone, like a QB sneak or something. They passed it to him. He didn't do shit. Very disappointed with Jonnu Smith. He didn't do shit.
Looking at Bill Belichick depth charts just mesmerizes me. It's so weird.
Why?
All right, so most teams, they'll do starter for receivers. We'll go through receivers.
Okay.
Because they go starter and they list the 3, and then they go second and then they list 1, 2, 3, and then they'll go third and list 1, 2, 3, and then fourth 1, 2, 3. So Belichick did firsts, and then he did seconds, all right? And then he left the first spot for the third wide receivers blank. Put in the same receiver he had in the second spot for the second strings, in that the third strings in the second spot. Put in this other fucking totally random guy in the third string third spot.
Oh, Trey
And then
Nixon?
yeah.
I didn't even know he was still with us. I thought we dropped him, if I'm being honest.
And then the fourth strings, it's empty, another random dude, and then empty again. And also, why is Matthew Slater under a second string receiver?
I don't know. He's a defensive player, I thought.
I was like, no, he's just a special teams player.
Yeah, but I thought
his entire role is special teams.
I thought originally he was a defensive player. He is a receiver, but yes, he is a special teams guy.
So just looking. Also, just your left guard is also your backup center and your backup right guard. You have another backup guard and right tackle, left guard and right tackle. Some of these positionings are weird.
It's what BB wants. It's what BB gets.
It's what BB wants. Can't argue with that.
Our defense, surprising this year. It was great. Pickup of Matthew Judon, very good. Donta Hightower, I think he had an okay season. I mean, he didn't really do fuck all if I remember, but he got an interception. Good for him.
I think Juwan Bentley is incredibly underrated.
Oh, he was, when everybody was blocking Matthew Judon, Bentley came in. He was pretty good. JC Jackson,
underrated. One of the best corners in the league.
He is a free agent this season, but he said at a press conference that he would like to play with the Patriots his entire career. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming it's in talks. He's gonna
getting an extension soon.
Yeah.
You guys still have Kyle Duggar?
Yeah.
I thought you guys dropped him.
We drafted Joshua Bledsoe, a safety. Haven't seen him play because he got injured before the season. Jalen Mills did all right. He was from the Eagles.
Jalen Mills was okay.
Yeah, he was all right.
Adrian Phillips and Devin McCourty are good safeties to have as well.
Our line did pretty good. Christian Barmore, a rookie we picked up, he's pretty good. Wise was decent. Guy, who was I think he was our nominee for Man of the Year.
Walter Payton. Yeah.
He did pretty good.
Yeah, your defense is good. I think it just needs depth.
It does. This is exactly what happened in the Bucks game. Is who I don't know. I think it's maybe JC got taken out for a play or two. His helmet came off, and one of our backups came in. I don't remember who it was, but it was Justin Bethel. He came in. I'm reading the depth chart. That's I recognize the name, and he got cooked. And it lost us the game because it gave him some good. No, that's not. Never mind. That's not. I'm thinking of the wrong play. But he got cooked. And then we got Nick Folk and Jake Bailey. Pretty good.
Yeah, this team will be around. There's young talent. There's cheap talent.
We rebuilt kind of quick because Bill wanted to spend a little bit of money.
Yeah. Well, because I think that was smart because he's like, all right, we're going to spend some money on Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry.
Which we always have because we never give people huge contracts.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to drop some money on these 4 big playmakers, and we're going to drop some money on some defensive guys like Matt Judon. And they're like, all right, let's see what our rookie quarterback can do. Because that is how you set up a rookie for success. That is how you gauge a rookie. You can't gauge Trevor Lawrence on how good he's going to be off the season. You can't gauge Justin Fields or Zach Wilson off of how good they're going to be off of the season. You can judge Mac Jones off of how good he's going to be. Because you put him around a solid team with solid weapons, with a solid defense, and you said, it's all on you if we fail. And you guys made it to the playoffs.
We did.
So Mac Jones has a lot of potential to be around for a while. And I think that's good for you guys.
I'm very happy. I remember on draft night, I'm sure I've said this a lot, but I was standing in my chair in excitement and I screamed. I was very happy.
My friends, when the Bears traded up to draft Justin Fields,
I was terrified.
My friends were like screaming. They're like, "We wanted Justin Fields," and I'm like, "Bro, trust me, you're not gonna want that."
No,
I don't. I still think Justin Fields is gonna be a bust.
His decision making is bad, and it's masked by his very great athleticism.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be a good quarterback. I still don't. We haven't seen a lot out of him, but what we have, it's been like, there's been some flashes, but it's been so inconsistent, and then he's still getting injured. So, and he got Matt Nagy'd for a year.
He did.
So, I don't know. He's going to be either a career backup or like a bottom 10 quarterback consistently. But anyways, what was the other team that was in the playoffs for the AFC? Oh, the Steelers. I'm not going to talk about the Steelers. I'll talk about the Ravens instead, because the Ravens are the only other contender in the AFC. The Ravens just
Chargers? Question mark? Hello?
Oh yeah, we could talk about the Chargers too. The Chargers have potential. I forgot about them. I'm gonna be real. But I'll talk about the Ravens first, because the Ravens could have easily been in the playoffs had they not been just totally fucked by injuries.
Yeah.
You had your two top running backs go down before your first preseason game. I think it was like during OTAs that Gus Edwards went down. Lamar was injured in and out this year. You lost. What did they lost Marcus Peters early? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They lost Marcus Peters, or was it Marlon Humphrey? It was one of those two. I think it was Marcus Peters. They lost early. And then this team just kind of like shit the bed. They lost Patrick Queen, I think, for a few games early this season. Let me check. Maybe. No, they didn't. I was lying. Haha. Fooled. They lost some big guys.
Yes.
Like some key people, and that's football. It happens. You know, they had to pick up Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray last minute. Tyler Huntley got to play a few games, and he showed that he's a pretty good quarterback. Marquise Brown. News. I don't know if you've heard about this one. I just saw Schefter tweet about it today. Marquise Brown is retiring from football to pursue a career in gaming.
I did see that. He's going to be a Rocket League player.
No, that's Boston Scott.
Oh,
Marcus
no,
Peters is
yeah.
the streamer. Not Marcus Peters. Marquise Brown is the Twitch streamer.
No, yeah. I got mixed up. That's funny.
Yeah, he's retiring from football to be a full-time streamer on Twitch, and I think that is hilarious. Because he was their number one receiver this year, and now he's just like, I'm gonna go play fucking games on my computer.
But for receivers, Antonio Brown wants to be a Raven.
John Harbaugh's not gonna let that happen. I don't think.
And Lamar wants him to be a Raven.
No.
Yeah, Lamar.
If Lamar wants him to be a Raven, he would be working out with him right now, running plays, because like there's a video that came out today of Lamar working, like running some drills, like, you know, back in the lab stuff. If Lamar really wants Antonio Brown on his team, they would be like hooking up right now and playing some ball.
After it was said that Antonio Brown, or he said on a podcast, I think,
Yeah, he said it.
Lamar tweeted like 2 devil emojis, clearly implying Antonio Brown.
I hate that so much.
Why?
I don't like Antonio Brown.
No, yeah.
I don't think he should be in the league anymore. If any team picks him up, like it's a mistake at this point. This dude's got CTE. Like, there's for sure something wrong with him. If you can ensure he's getting mental help while he's on your team, okay, that's fine. But if you're just gonna let him just be like that, be like him, don't.
He
just
was
don't.
severely disrespected by the Bucs organization.
For what? He
Uh,
didn't do anything.
because
He lied about everything.
Because he said I was injured, and then
He wasn't. Did you see him like dance off of the field?
Well, I don't know. I
A
figured
lot
he
of
just
stuff has
sucked it
come
up.
out. A lot of stuff has come out that has like basically proven everything that Antonio Brown said is not true.
No, I don't follow up on it.
He's a like pathological liar.
Oh, never mind. Then he's not gonna be a Raven because that's kind of fucked.
Yeah. So he fucked over the Steelers because he's a diva. He fucked over the Raiders because he's like, I'm not digging this team. And then, the Patriots, Bill Belichick played him in a game and then said, no, fuck that.
Yeah, Tom was like, "Can we please?"
And Belichick's like, fine. And then he saw it and he's like, no. And then went to the Bucs. He won his ring. I don't even think he should try to be a fucking football player anymore. I don't think any team should pick him up.
He's such a media risk.
Yeah. It's just, even like mentioning his name is bad PR. I feel. But, I don't know. Anyways, the Ravens are gonna be around for a while. They have a good team. They have a good defense. If they can just stay fucking healthy.
And Lamar's working on throwing, which, he showed this season that he can throw. Because we were clowning him that he is a running back, and then he started throwing the ball more, and we were like, oh.
Shit.
You know what? Maybe he's kind of good.
Yeah, and then it turns out he was kind of good. And then he got fucking rolled his ankle and didn't play another snap.
He also did a front flip into the end zone and hurt his hip and had to be out of practice for like half a week.
That was funny. That was funny, though. You gotta admit.
That is very funny.
Yeah, the Ravens have a good mix of young talent and veteran talent and depth. And you're probably not going to see the last of them. I think the Ravens have to lock up Lamar in a contract soon, though. Give him a fatty extension, because he's going to be a guy. We haven't been high on Lamar. Collectively.
What do you think his contract is?
He's on a rookie deal. He was a 32nd pick. It's probably like
2018 draft, yeah.
It's probably like $1.5 million a year.
Yeah, it's a 4-year, 9.5 with a 7.5. So that's $2 million. So that's $500K a year.
That's $500,000 a year. Wow. But that signing bonus is gonna get him through, and he's gonna get a fat extension.
He has an MVP season.
Yeah, he was literally a league MVP. I don't think there's any debate that he's good.
And after his performance this season, he deserves one.
I don't think he's bad. I think he's just way overhyped. I
agree. I think people think he's way too good, and it's like he is good, but
yeah. No, the Chargers.
It's so weird because they have talent and they're good, but
they don't have coaching. The Chargers have never had good coaching ever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, they got this good team. They're kind of low on receiver depth, but they have Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is a free agent, so who knows if they're gonna get him back.
I've been seeing he's leaving.
Yeah, so they need to. You know what would be a good fit for the Chargers? Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin.
Actually,
I've always said it. Chris Godwin is like your perfect second wide receiver. Put him next to Keenan Allen. That would be very good. And then grab someone else that's not Jalen Guyton as your third guy. Your offensive line is fine. Brian Bulaga? Holy shit, he's on the Chargers. Did not know that. Brian Bulaga was on the... I think he was on the Super Bowl... Yeah, he's on the Super Bowl winning Packers. His rookie year. And he was like a really, really decent tackle. Like he was right before Bakhtiari. Like he was a really good Pro Bowl left tackle, and then Bakhtiari came in.
Rashaan Slater though.
Rashaan Slater was
he had a great season.
He was the second best rookie offensive lineman this year.
Yeah.
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
That dude is an animal. Corey Linsley is a very good center as well. On the defensive side, Linval Joseph and Joey Bosa are good on the line. Chris Harris, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr. Like, they're good. They maybe need some inside linebacker help. Kenneth Murray was okay this year, but a little bit of help here and there, and they have all the pieces. But their coaching is just atrocious. Their time management. The Chargers in general have never picked coaches with good time management. They had Anthony Lynn in 2020, and he lost 3 games because he couldn't manage a clock. And then Brandon Staley is way too analytic driven, where he's like, if I go for it on 4th and 1 instead of kicking a field goal, then maybe I can win this game. And then they lose the game by 2 points because they didn't kick the field goal.
And the Raiders game where he called a timeout to get his first team defense on the field. Just roll with who you have, dude. At that point, it's very understandable that it's going to be a tie. And then you call a timeout, and it's this is no longer a tie.
Yeah, and then they lose out on a playoff spot because of it. It would have been so much better, too, because it would have been Patriots and Bengals would have played, and then it would have been Raiders and Bills, and then it would have been Chargers and Chiefs. That would have been good.
That's
instead
way better.
We had to watch Chiefs Steelers in the first round. We had to watch Big Ben's corpse lie on the field for 60 minutes and try to throw a ball.
Which that game started weird.
They didn't have an offensive score, I don't think. The Steelers.
Did they not?
I know they had a
TJ Watt had
their first score was a defensive score.
Yeah.
Oh, they had no, Big Ben did have 2 short touchdown passes. Yeah, he had 2 short touchdown passes, but they were late into the game when it was already decided. But yeah, I don't know, man. The AFC's gonna be very weird for the next couple of years.
It's gonna be. This is why dynasties are not gonna happen, because it's gonna be Bengals one year, Bills next year, Chiefs next year. It's gonna be different every year.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's gonna come down to a big game, and one team's gonna win over the other.
Yeah, it's
gonna suck.
The reality of it.
It's gonna suck for a lot of AFC fans. Playoffs wise.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyways, we're gonna move on. So predictions, I got it right. Nacho got it wrong. So our final prediction records for this year: Nacho 177. He was 565. What was I about to say?
Average?
He's batting, average, with 3 perfect predictions on the year. I was 107 and 70, 605 average, with 7 perfect on the year. I don't want to brag, but I think I got 2 or 3 postseason perfects. You know, just saying. Something else that happened last week. This is NFL awards. I'm gonna go over this part first. So NFL awards happened. They were very good. I watched it. It was kind of cringe at points, but Keegan-Michael Key did sing a song, and it was pretty funny.
He also roasted the fuck out of the Chiefs.
Holy shit, that was funny.
Right in, like, Travis Kelce was sitting in the front, and Travis Kelce was like, he was nodding his head no as to, like, be polite, but in his head he would have gotten on stage and beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So the Hall of Fame class for 2022 was announced, and I'm still mad Reggie Wayne getting snuffed. Anyways, I don't know a lot of the names that are on here. I'm gonna be real. I know Bryant Young, who was a defensive lineman for the 49ers from 94 to 2007. I know that name. He was comeback player of the year. I think he won a defensive player of the year or two. I know Cliff Branch, who was a wide receiver in the Oakland Raiders from 74 to 86. He was like criminally underrated. You should know Richard Seymour.
I do.
Yeah, defensive lineman for the Patriots 01 to 2013. Tony Basale, the first ever Jacksonville Jaguar to get into the Hall of Fame. He was an offensive tackle from 95 to 2001. His career got cut short because of injury. And those were the only names I knew. But who else was added was Leroy Butler was a safety from the Packers in 1990 to 2001. And Sam Mills was a linebacker for the Saints and the Panthers from 86 to 97. Then they added a coach, Dick Vermeil, who was with Philly, the St. Louis Rams, and the Chiefs. 2 different points from 76 to 2005. And he won the Super Bowl in 1999 with the Rams. And he was a pretty good coach. And then Art McNally, who was an official. He worked with the officials from 1968 to 1991. This dude was there forever. Holy shit. But they now have an award named after Art McNally for like officiating or something, which no one should get this year. So yeah, let's get to some actual awards.
Yeah.
So Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award, which is just good sport, was Matt Slater.
Woo.
How can you not pick Matt Slater?
He's the most like
the guy.
He's
just the
so
guy.
Lovable. He's literally he's wearing glasses in his NFL portrait.
I saw that. That's funny. The fantasy football player of the year, Cooper Kupp. That's just a given. He had so many fucking points.
I think it's funny that at the beginning of this season, there was this big post about how his dad is now going to have to fight for him in fantasy and that it's not just a freebie anymore. Because his Cooper Kupp's fantasy team used to just give it to him, which I learned his dad was a quarterback for the Cowboys.
He was Troy Aikman's backup for he said... Troy Aikman said this on a broadcast. He's like, Cooper Kupp's dad was actually my backup for 2 minutes in Dallas. But Craig, if you're listening, love you, man. Hope you're doing well. I thought that was really funny. It was a really cool moment. But the FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Year, Tom Brady was the air player and Jonathan Taylor was the ground player. I don't think there's much dispute for that. Tom Brady threw a fuck ton of passes, and Jonathan Taylor ran for a fuck ton of yards.
Yeah.
The moment of the year, Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of that. Coach of the year was Mike Vrabel. I mean, I think everyone saw that coming.
He coached a team to the 1 seed with everyone injured.
With Ryan Tannehill and no one else. I think the other finalists was Sean McVay and someone else. It
Bill
might have been Zach
Belichick.
Taylor. Oh, it was Belichick. Yeah, because Belichick was like,
Quick
what
rebuild.
what if I do a quick rebuild? And then he rebuilt quick. The Walter Payton Man of the Year went to Andrew Whitworth, who then won a Super Bowl 3 days later. So shout out to him, because he had a great fucking week. But I was listening to his speech, and he had a fucking phenomenal speech. You should watch it if you haven't. Yeah.
I watched the awards live.
Yeah, it was a very empowering speech. It was like awesome to see everything that he's done for like communities, both in like Louisiana in his hometown and for LA
and Cincinnati, because he used to be a Bengal.
Cincinnati, because he was drafted as a Bengal. Speaking of Bengals, comeback player of the year was Joe Burrow. Big surprise. They really tried to hype up Dak. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, they did.
They were really hyping up Dak, and then the person who was announcing it opened up the envelope was like, Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow, the most underdressed person, he came in like khakis and a white long sleeve t-shirt. And after he was like, yep, thanks, this is cool, did not pick up the award.
Yeah.
He just left.
Fucking focused on the game. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Micah Parsons. That was unanimous. There was no one even, like...
You can't debate that.
Yeah. Jamar Chase won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I think the last couple of Bengals games really solidified that. I'm not even going to debate. It should have been Mac Jones. It should have been Jamar Chase. 100%.
Yeah. Mac Jones was the only other finalist for that. Defensive Player of the Year was TJ Watt.
People were saying it should have been Myles Garrett or Aaron Donald. I think you can't.
22 and a half. He's tied the sack record.
Yeah, he tied the sack record. I don't understand why he's just... It's TJ Watt.
If you get 20 plus sacks in a season, you should automatically get this award.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, that's insane.
That's a lot.
Micah Parson was actually a finalist for this, and I was in shock. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, obviously,
this was also the first award. They gave this out first.
Yeah, and it was his brother. JJ gave this award out.
Yeah, JJ Watt and Katy Perry gave this award out.
And he read it, he was like, it's DJ. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Offensive Player of the Year went to Cooper Kupp.
Easy.
No debate there.
Yeah.
Triple crown, 2,000 plus yards total. Like, that was insane. And the MVP went to Aaron Rodgers. I fully agree with that.
Back to back. Also fully agree.
I think he played a lot better than Brady. It was Brady and Kupp were the finalists with Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
It's MVP's a quarterback award, so it's automatically just not going to go to Kupp.
And this is a regular season award also.
Yeah, it's regular season, so it doesn't take into account postseason. Rodgers had a better year than Brady.
He did.
I gotta compare their interceptions because I know Brady threw.
Tommy had a good couple.
Brady threw a good few interceptions.
Yeah.
He threw.
Aaron had like 4.
Oh god! I just checked career stats on accident. Holy shit! Brady's thrown 200 interceptions.
I'll go find Aaron's.
Brady threw 12 picks this year. Rodgers probably threw 4.
Wait, was I right? It is 4. I was right. He threw 4 this season. 37 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
Brady threw 43 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, but he also threw 720 passes.
Rodgers had 531.
Yeah, because, when you have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones in your backfield, you're going to, run the ball a couple times at least. But yeah, I think Rodgers definitely deserved the award. But now we're going to get onto the really important awards.
Yeah.
The first ever Minga Sports Awards. All right. So we're gonna go top to bottom. So we're gonna start like normal awards, and then they're gonna get to be awards.
Yeah, that's what the episode is not titled for the NFL's awards. No.
No.
This is the main show.
This is the first annual Minga Awards.
Yeah.
So Nacho, I'm gonna give you the honor
To go first?
for MVP. Who is your MVP this season?
My MVP. Thank you. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver, San Francisco 49ers.
Fair. That is very fair. You had it. Who did you have it?
Do you want me to explain?
First? Yeah, go for it.
I was between Tom Brady and Deebo, but I think Deebo. So, football is a team sport. The San Francisco 49ers were carried by Deebo Samuel this entire season. Like offensive wise, their defense did really good. Offensively, which is what you see the points and what you see the highlights of, all Deebo Samuel. Like, obviously not all. Majority of it was Deebo Samuel. He carried that offense. He was so fun to watch. Great player. He's my Minga MVP.
This was the year that he became a running back as well.
Yeah.
So he got the rushing yards. He got all the receiving yards. I think this is a good choice. I think he played very well. He got a first team All Pro, which very much deserved.
That was a lot more prestigious than Pro Bowl as well.
Yeah. So you talk about Deebo carrying his team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about someone who literally carried their team.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor is my MVP. We've been talking about Carson Wentz and how ungood he kind of was this season. He showed flashes of good, and then it's like, okay, we need Carson to do something now, like at the end of a game. And then he'd throw an interception.
Hey, Carson, this is a free game, but also we go to the playoffs, or we don't go if we win, but it's against the Jaguars. So just have a field day. We're going to win.
And then they lose. The Colts went 9-0 when Jonathan Taylor rushed for over 100 yards. And then they went, I think, 0-8 when he didn't. Or some stupid stat like that. Where it was if Jonathan Taylor rushes for over 100 yards, we win.
Mm-hmm.
And that is literally carrying your team. And for them to even be in a position where it's a win and you're in game is all thanks to Jonathan Taylor. Their defense was good, but all of their offensive presence was Jonathan Taylor. And if you can shut him down, you shut down the Colts offense. And that's why Taylor's my MVP.
Yeah.
Let's move on to LVP, the least valuable player.
Speaking of Carson Wentz, my least valuable player goes to second half Carson Wentz, quarterback, Indianapolis Colts.
Only second half.
Well, because the first half of games, he usually played decent. Especially, he usually could start out pretty hot.
Ball off in the first half.
Michael Pittman had a good year. His receivers did good. But second half, Carson Wentz, he just threw games, could not win. It was sad, honestly sad, because I was pulling for him the entire season. I was pulling for him, and he just shat himself and sat in it. Dude.
I think if he had done that, actually done that, it would have been more entertaining than the actual game.
Yeah, it was sad. It's just sad. That's it. It's sad.
It was sad to see someone think he's found a new life in Indy, and then for it to just go down the drain in the second half. That's tragic. My LVP, it's not really a player. It's more of a personnel.
It's your LVP.
The entire Packers special teams unit. I originally had Julio Jones, because Julio Jones fucked me in fantasy, raw dogged me. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I know of something that did way worse. The Packers special teams. It lost them a playoff game.
Yeah.
That game against the Niners. They had a field goal blocked and a punt blocked for a touchdown. Like, San Fran's only non-field goal was a punt block for a touchdown. Not to mention, they let up the most punt return yards in the league. Not to mention, I think they had like 3 more blocked field goals throughout the season. Like, dude, if you're gonna focus on special teams, like if you're gonna put people on special teams for only special teams, make them like actually good. Make them do something. Special teams is like it's supposed to be the in between parts where you're like, okay, this happens like all like systematically. Like, oh, I punt ball go downfield, they return it.
Go tackle
We
guy.
tackle guy. It's like the most fundamentally sound. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. And you fuck it up? Like, come on.
Not even just like one time. Sometimes, you know, it can be returned for like, no, I'm just saying like sometimes, you know, good teams, you know, will get a touchdown scored on special teams against them, like on kickoff or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't one time.
It was every week.
It was all the time.
I still remember that game against the Bears, that Monday night game. It was Monday or Sunday night game, where they gave up like one punt return touchdown, and then another punt return got to like the 10-yard line, and then another kick return got to like midfield, and it's like, just fucking tackle the guy. Jesus Christ. Your job is to tackle. Do it. Do your job. And yeah, the Packers are the Packers special team are my LVP this year. Mm-hmm. Lost them this season. All right, we're going to move on to the best game award. So, what was the best game in your opinion this season?
Cuz it was taken, I was going to take Anthony's choice, but another great game was Chiefs at Bengals in week 17 of the regular season, where Joe Burrow led a comeback. This was his second plus 400-yard game in a row. The week before that, he threw 500 yards on I just watched shit ass spin in a circle and run out the room. That was funny.
That's awesome.
He threw 500 yards against the Ravens, and they threw for 446 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs in a comeback effort.
Against respectable teams too.
Mm-hmm. And it was just great to watch because, you know, the Chiefs started out real hot in the first half, and it was like, you know, this Bengals defense kind of sucks. And then they just stepped up and started playing some good defense and held the Chiefs to 3 points in the second half. And it, you know, Money McPherson field goal later, they won the game. Well, after, you know, 2 touchdowns, but.
Yeah, the Bengals defense has always just been non-existent in the first half, and then they just come alive in the second half and dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in the Super Bowl, they their Bengals defense didn't play great in the first half, and then they sort of just stepped up towards the end. Like they allowed, like in the second half, they allowed only 3 points before the 2-minute warning.
And then after the 2-minute warning was just pain.
Chaos. Chaos and pain. But yeah, this was a very good game. I could agree with that. My best game was the divisional round, Buffalo at Kansas City. 13 seconds. That's all I have to say.
This was the best game of the year. This was game of the year.
You can ask anyone, and they will say that this was the best game of the year.
Undoubtedly.
Anyone who watched this game. Because it was just so electric, back and forth offense. And that's what you kind of like to see in football, is like, all right, let's see offense. And that's why they keep, you know, calling defensive penalties and whatnot, because it's like, oh, we need more offense in the game. And this, if you love offense, this game was your fucking pipe dream.
Which everyone does, most everyone. Yeah. I was listening to this game, the end of this game, I had like ESPN open for most of the day because I was at work, so I couldn't, you know, really do much but like check it every now and again.
Did you like actually watch this game live, or did you just listen to it live?
No, I listen, and then as on the way home, I listened to the like end chaos, and then there was like a timeout or whatever, and I ran inside because I got home listening to it on the radio, and then there was a timeout, and I full sprint into my house, opened up my laptop because I didn't want to wait for my computer to boot up, and watched the rest of the game.
Nice. I watched this game in its entirety, and it was glorious. It was fantastic. There was nothing like atrociously bad about like the coaching, or like there was nothing terrible about the defenses. It was just like offensive shootouts. And in the end, it's gonna decide the fate of NFL overtime.
That was so funny. Josh Allen was interviewed at the awards, and then he was like, well, I think everyone should get an equal opportunity to succeed so everyone can be happy. And he just gave a smile, and they panned away from him.
No, they zoomed in on him.
Oh, I don't
They zoomed in on him, and he gave a smile and like a nod to the camera. And I thought that was hysterical. That was awesome. But they are looking to changing the overtime rules.
I like that.
Or only for playoffs.
I agree with I like that. Only for playoffs, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm on the fence, but I'm with it. And it would just be both teams get a possession.
I like that.
So if like the receiving team gets the ball and they score a touchdown, then the other team gets a chance to score a touchdown and like make it up. And then after that possession, like if nothing happens, or if they do score a touchdown and tie it up, then it's sudden death.
Josh Allen is very funny. He did a commercial recently for like some electrolyte company that's paying him crazy amounts of money probably. Nice. And he starts off the commercial by looking in the camera and pointing, go, "Hey you."
I need to see this commercial now.
And like he gets I don't know, it was like Hydrate or something, but it's like he's all serious afterwards, but he starts off going, "Hey you," and he's like, Hydrate. "Yeah, I'm Josh Allen." Well, I don't know, but I don't know what it is.
I'm looking for this. Josh Allen. No, that probably isn't it. There's a Josh Allen best and funny moments from a year ago. That is a 3-minute long video.
I do not.
I don't know. I'll find it eventually.
If I find it, I can.
Yeah.
Send it to you.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go to the worst game of the year now. Nacho.
Yep.
What was your worst game of the year? This is a weird one for you.
I picked Titans at Jets because the number 1 seed Titans lost to the Jets.
What about when the AFC champion Bengals lost to the Jets?
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
I think so. Did I put that down somewhere?
Yeah, you put it down.
No, we'll get to that later. That's a later discussion.
Wait, the Jets won 2 in a row? No, you got the weeks mixed up, my man.
Oh, my bad. I did this at like 11 at night. I don't know what week it was. It week 5?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you got the other one correct. Yeah, you got this one wrong though.
Anyways, Titans lost to the Jets. Very funny. I don't know what else to say. It was just kind of funny. That's wrong. It's not week 5.
What?
It's not week 5.
Oh, it was week 4. My bad. I can't count. Or no, it was week 5.
No, because I'm looking at it right now, and it's week 4.
It was
week 4.
Well, it wasn't week 7, so fuck you.
Jets win in overtime. I don't fucking know. What's your wars?
My worst was Week 9, Buffalo at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The game that ended 69, and no one would shut up about the defensive Josh Allen picking off and sacking the offensive Josh Allen. And everyone was fucking pogging out of their mind. They're like, holy shit, bro, this Josh Allen. And that was the only game the Jaguars were relevant this season.
Well, the final game of the season.
The only game they were relevant.
Final
no,
game.
I wouldn't even count that.
Really?
The Colts blew up on themselves.
Trevor Lawrence had a good game.
The Colts blew up on themselves, man.
All right.
This was Buffalo not doing anything and Jacksonville not doing anything.
Yeah, this is the Bills just didn't show up to practice all week, and then we're like, I don't know what to do. And then
they're like, guys, what's the worst that can happen? We lose.
Josh, fucking, I don't know, draw plays in the ball. Just go. Just throw it to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, this game, I was watching parts of it, and I'm like, holy shit, this game sucks.
Yeah, it was bad. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. All right. And now, fan voted favorite segment for the season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like I'm having a stroke, but this is what I wrote down.
You want me to do it?
Oh, go for it. It's gonna sound like he's gonna have a stroke, but
this award is that was most certainlyest a gameliest of the seasonliest award, and mine goes to Week 8 Bengals at Jet, the Mike White game.
The Mike White game is a very good nominee for this.
Mike White went 37 for 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Man says he should have been a first-round pick and then shat himself the rest of the season.
My question to Robert Saleh, or whoever's calling the offensive plays for the Jets, you let this dude come in. This dude who sat on the bench for 2 years and hasn't done anything. Your starting quarterback gets injured, and you're like, this man has never seen an NFL game. Let's have him throw 45 passes.
And it worked.
It worked. It worked. Oh, this is... I try to, forget this game. I genuinely am like, this never happened. Yeah. And now if I ever go to the Football Hall of Fame, I'll be reminded of it because his jersey and gloves are there. Are in Canton.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know why. Why are they
there?
Why?
That's so funny.
I don't know what he did or why they're putting that in the Hall of Fame, but they need to get rid of that shit immediately.
It was first game something. Hold on.
It was threw over 400 yards in his first game or something like that. It's gonna be something like, ooh, big number in first game, but then they're not gonna talk about how he just shit the bed for the next few games.
His 37 completions are the most by a quarterback in their first start, and he's the second quarterback to throw for over 400 yards since 1950 in their debut, and the other one I think is Cam Newton.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. That shit doesn't go to Canton, man.
What is Cam Newton's debut numbers? I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, he threw for 422 yards. I'm right.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what makes it even better?
What?
It's the black Jets jerseys. It's the blackout one.
What's the black jerseys? Those are their home jerseys.
No.
Their green ones are their alternates, I think.
No way.
I'm pretty sure the green ones are the alternate. Hold on, let's look it up.
I don't believe that.
Let's look up Jets home jersey. It's the whites. The whites are the first one that come up. Or not the whites, the blacks.
No, it says that the blacks are the alternates.
Oh. Oh, yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
I don't love black uniforms.
I love the Jets uniforms.
I don't understand.
They're so clean.
I don't understand what the big deal is with everybody saying that every team in the NFL should have a black jersey. They don't look good. I've seen
You want
like
to see a really funny image?
I've seen like every concept for black. I know, and nobody's on the Jets anymore from that image from the uniform
I
debut.
know. I know.
Every team is like, oh, we should have black jerseys, and I've seen every kind of concept for every team, and they're all bad. Shut up about black jerseys. They don't look good. They're not in the color scheme. I don't understand. Whiteout jerseys are clean as shit. Blacked out are bad.
I kind of like the
Jets black jerseys work, and I do like them, but
I like the Falcons.
Yeah, because their colors are black.
The Panthers.
What about put the Giants? What if you had blackout jerseys? They'd be weird as fuck. That's my point.
That's black and dark blue.
That's my point.
Unless you wanted to have it to be the black with just like white numbering and a blue helmet.
That's my point. Is just like take your away jerseys and replace white with black, and that's what everybody thinks is the cleanest thing in the NFL. It's not good. It's not good.
The concept art I saw for the Rams blackout jerseys were okay. I kind of like them.
I don't.
Like, I've seen more and more, and I'm like, they're kind of growing on me. But, like, I don't... They're a one-game thing. Anyways, back to that was most certainlyest the gameliest of the seasonliest award. Mine... Oh. That shit kind of fire, though.
I just took the first image I saw.
That shit kind of fire. All right. Why did you just send me a Landon Collins jersey? He hasn't been on our team in 3 years.
It's the like sixth thing in the. Okay. Wait, these are real? These are real.
Someone definitely just like. No, someone definitely just custom made that.
It's bad.
Someone definitely custom made that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
these are bad.
My most certainly was a game award is Week 10, Detroit at Pittsburgh, the lone tie of this NFL season.
Like, honestly, the Cardinals lost to Detroit, and Steelers only tied, so.
That means that the Steelers are better than the Cardinals.
Confirmed.
You know, that also means that Detroit is better than the Cowboys. Because the Cardinals beat the Cowboys.
Name any team and they're probably better than the Cowboys. Holy shit, the Cowboys suck.
That's true. That's actually a true statement.
Like, not because I just think it's stupid that you're like, we're America's team. Shut up. No, you're not.
You haven't been America's team in 25 years.
If anybody, and like non-biasly from a Patriots fan, it's the Patriots. We won 6 championships. Suck our Lombardi trophies. You probably forgot what they look like.
Yikes.
You just suck. You just suck. You're in a dog shit division, and then you got there, and then you're like, wait, playoff? How'd the ref ran over Dak? Oh, he do to get the refs through the game. Oh, it's only because of the refs. Oh.
I really like the fucking... I have a screenshot on my phone of just a Madden play of just a QB draw, and it just says, here comes Dak Prescott.
Yeah, who runs there? And then you blame it on coaches.
It was so funny. But yeah, Detroit, Pittsburgh. There's not a lot to say about this game. Both teams should have won it. Like, they both had a chance. It should have been the Lions, but the Lions were like, how do we football? And then it's like, oh man, now the Steelers are gonna drive down the field and win. And then the Steelers are like, football, what?
We did.
And this was really funny. This is a really funny game to watch.
Speaking of funny games,
move on to it.
Move on to the funniest moment in the NFL. And this season, I chose the Mac Gritty from the Pro Bowl because that was awesome and
That was
very
awesome.
funny.
That was a very funny moment this season.
There was a clip before the game where Patrick Mahomes is talking to Mac Jones like, "Oh, you gotta hit the gritty. I don't know how to do it, but like if you do it, the crowd are gonna go wild."
No, Mac Jones was saying I still don't know how to do it. Mac Jones was the one saying I don't know how to do it.
Oh,
I'll try though.
he did it.
He did it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. My funniest moment, and this was a throwback to week 4 when I still had hopium for the Giants.
That's a
when
long
we
that
went
lasted.
into when we yeah when we went to overtime against the Saints in the Superdome, and everyone, what is it? This was right after the hurricane too, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Saints are gonna win," and then the Giants come in, the bad Giants, going to the Superdome, and then it comes down to the coin toss again, and the Giants win it, and Jabril Peppers, the best line of the NFL season this year. "We want the ball, fuck them," right into the ref's mic, so that everyone just fucking heard it, just right on TV, and that was a funny moment.
That was awesome.
That was really good.
Uh,
That's right. I see you put in an honorable mention.
I as Anthony was talking, I put in an honorable mention. Honorable mention of funniest moment in the NFL: the Cleveland Browns.
It's the entirety of the Browns. I'm with it.
All right, next is dumbest play call.
Oh yeah.
And so my dumbest play call was week 6, Chiefs at Washington football team. And I honestly, I don't know why they would call this Jackson Mahomes TikTok dancing at
literally dancing on Sean Taylor's grave.
Yeah. What the fuck,
Fuck that
Mahomes?
guy. Fuck that guy.
Like,
I hate Jackson Mahomes.
I'm
so much.
I feel so bad for Patrick because he every fucking time he has to go home and be like, "God damn it! What did we talk about?"
And then he's got to deal with that shit.
And he's got to deal with his fucking
too.
Yeah, where she sprays, he gets home and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Man, dude, how long until Jackson fucks his fiance?
Oh, that's probably already happened. I feel like they're perfect for each other. They're both shitty human beings. Yeah, that was fucking so disrespectful. That Jackson Mahomes deserves the chair. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the dumbest play call for me, it's an actual play. Houston at Cleveland in week 2. So this is a while ago, but I saw a highlight of it. And I was going to pick something else, but that's just an honorable mention.
Yeah.
But this was like, what the fuck is going on? So the Texans had the ball in, I think it was around midfield. And it was 3rd and 15. And they snapped the ball. And there was an offsides. So it's a free play. They make a completion and they get it within 2 yards. So it's 4th and 2. Or they can accept the offsides for like 3rd and 10. And they decide to totally forego the 3rd and 10 and take the 4th and 2. And it's like, oh, okay, they're at midfield. They can go for it. Nah, they punt it. They punt that shit away. They accepted a penalty to keep it, or they declined the penalty to keep it 4th and 2 to punt it instead of just going for it on 3rd and 10 and having another opportunity. And I think that was really funny. The honorable mention is week 18, Washington football team at the Giants, the QB sneak on 3rd and 9. I mean, how can you not? How can you not have that there for real?
Yeah.
And then moving on, the injury of the year.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest injury, the biggest impact injury of the year for you?
I put Jameis Winston, quarterback of the Saints, because it was really funny. We had this whole bit. Yeah, first off, fuck you for getting injured. We had a bit that was like
we had
based
a
on
bit
you.
planned.
Every week he would be great and then he would be bad, and then he got injured, and the Saints just started to just be bad offensively. Their defense is actually pretty good, I'd say.
Their defense held them in there longer than it should have, probably.
And I don't know if Jameis is gonna be back with the Saints. Honestly, I think that's their best option, in my opinion.
Yeah, I probably should.
And I think he bought himself a job with his performance this season. And it was just sad because I don't know, I wanted to continue the bit of like the math and if he was gonna be good or not, and it was just interesting.
Yeah. My injury was Nick Gates, who's the center for the Giants. This just hit really close to home because you know, he's on the Giants, and it's possible career ender. I don't know if it's like actually like if he's gonna be able to come back or what's even gonna happen with him. But like this was like our whole offensive line was already shitty, and we just lost our best guy because of it. So I don't know. It was a fractured leg in like week 2, and it was just sad. I wasn't not a big fan. I also had a an honorable mention for Robert Woods, who got injured and fucked over my fantasy team that was already dog shit. But yeah, that was my injury of the year.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go on to biggest disappointment. Who disappointed you the most?
The Arizona Cardinals. They started out so good, so hot. It was gonna be great, and they just fizzled at the end of the season. They just started to fizzle out, and nothing came of anything. And then they lost in the first round of the playoffs. And now, going back to what we started the episode off with, they're just blaming Kyler for everything. And it's just, I wanted more out of him, being honest. You know?
Yeah, no, that's
just
fair.
it's again, it's just sad.
Yeah, it was kind of a wasted potential season because like you got this young quarterback, you have all these big receivers, you got a good defense now, and it's just we went 7-0 and then lost a lot of games, but we made the playoffs, and then you get fucking blown out by the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest disappointment was the Green Bay Packers playoff run. Again, back to their special teams being total dog shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just play better on special teams, and you win that game. You play the Rams in the championship and like have a good chance of winning that game.
Aaron, don't be mid in the playoffs.
Mid in the playoffs, yeah. But yeah, that was just kind of a why'd you build up all this hype only to let us down?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were clearly like the best team in the league.
Yes, 100%.
In the regular season, they were easily the best.
Yeah.
They like clinched the first round bye with a week remaining still, and they rested like their starters. And it's like, Like, you're clearly the best team in the league, and you're just gonna let us down against the 6th seed? Come on, you're better than that. So that was my biggest disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, finally, our final award of the night. We're gonna move on to Minga of the Year.
Yeah, alrighty.
So, who's your Minga of the Year?
So my Minga of the Year, this was a very obvious choice in my opinion, was Felipe Franks, quarterback for the Falcons.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. My Minga of the Year was Ezra Cleveland, who's the left guard for the Vikings.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. Now, all right. If you guys like the podcast, please follow us. We stream live every Tuesday usually. From
Wednesday.
no. Over on twitch.tv/naturalive. The O is a 0. Go on YouTube. We post gaming content and the VODs that are. I try my best to make them time stamped for your convenience. Over on Minga Sports and Gaming. And then
Bless you.
When I get around to it, I'm gonna start. I'm a little behind on the audio, but if you do prefer your podcast in audio only format, or you just want to go check it out on audio formats. It's there. Just check it out.
Yeah,
and
my sister texted me. My sister texted me like right after the Super Bowl, and like, cause then you uploaded the VOD right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was talking about who's gonna win the Super Bowl, and she was like, and she texted me, she's like, too soon. I'm like, I don't control that. Sorry, you have to talk to my business partner.
Yeah. So thank you all for watching. They come around next year for Minga Awards. With the lack
Stick around for the off season as well, where we'll talk about the some changes in free agency and trades and stuff, and
with a lack of sports, we're gonna have to start getting creative and just look forward to some updates.
I'll find ways to get us creative. I make the docs now.
Alrighty, and yeah, that's it. So you know what? I'll get y'all Mingas on the flip. Peace out, word to your mother.